Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, and we're playing Operation Aegis, our Lancer actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me today is Carr playing Tiana, Sarah playing Vika, Patrick playing Freddy, Eric playing Uriah, Jeremy playing Cortev, Rappy playing Melody, and Dua playing Audrey.
We're all back.
Yes,
We're bringing it back.
Yeah. For those of you curious, there was a big discussion about the song Fireball earlier.
Alright, so who wants to give a review of what happened the last time?
Shenanigans.
We were in space.
Well, we were basically captured the captain of the ship, transported him back to a new shuttle that they had sent over, and extracted safely. We then leveled up, in case you... And now we're basically waiting on debrief right now.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot we were going to do the debrief. By almost, I mean I completely forgot we were going to do the debrief.
These things happen. It's all good.
Yeah.
Well-oiled machine.
Well-oiled
Whee!
machine.
All right. So that's pretty accurate. I'm not sure how safe Vika was while extracting, but she did make it all the way through.
Oh, she's fine. She was being dragged.
They just Tiana just slapped the child leash onto the back of her. She was fine.
And then was used as a cudgel.
I seem to remember one panic moment where everybody's looking through stuff, and then Sarah suddenly remembers, "Oh,
She
right,
never
I can brace.
physically hit
Except
anything.
the damage it had."
I brace and I get 5, and then I have 2 armor already. Boom, no damage. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Lord.
That
We got
was
5 more HP left. That's like at least 1 more hit. Let's go.
That
Last
was
one's the only one that matters.
That was a bit of a panic, yeah.
Just imagine like Vika dragging, and it's just the nails in the floor.
I didn't hear no bell.
We've been voluntold to take a vacation.
No.
Not yet.
We will be.
Yes, you will be. There will be mandatory fun.
I specifically requested it.
Jellicoe has requested.
Mandatory fun.
Nope, these guys have been through the ringer too many times. Give them a vacation before they go crazy.
Too late.
Happiness is
Too
mandatory.
late.
Have you seen Uriah?
There's a couple of them guys I don't want to see them when they go off the rails.
Everyone points at Uriah.
I'm fairly confident 90% of us are just going to look at Uriah.
Yet for some reason, Jellicoe is staring at Freddy.
Sir.
Alright, so yes, you extracted back... I almost said back to Earth, but that'd be quite a trip.
Woo!
Wrong game.
You extracted back to the planet.
We're going home.
Way home.
That'd be a heck of a trip.
Well, we'd extract 2, which would be a couple of years to the next gate, and then we could probably be back home fairly quickly.
Okay. But, so yeah, you extract back to the planet. The mission is definitely considered a success. You got in, you captured a prisoner, which was a bonus. You got the information that you needed. The assault on the rest of the shipyard destroyed 1 or 2 ships. It was not, not really anything major, but they managed to do that without losing any of their own. Though a few of theirs did get shot up, pretty severely.
Mm.
But all of them managed to make it back home under their own power.
Woo.
So y'all land, y'all shuttle down at that point, land at the base. You've had let's see, I'm trying to think. Relativistic speeds, but they're pretty quick. You've probably had several hours at least to work on reports on the trip back, if you wanted to. They don't actually demand that you do that immediately after a fight. You know.
Everyone looks at Uriah.
You can all just get a drink and sit down somewhere.
The information that we took from the ship, I actually wanted to study that too while we have the chance.
Okay.
So I wonder.
Well, in regards to that, Uriah hasn't said a word about it. In fact, he's very, very, very quiet.
Now I'm trying to remember, what did Uriah? About the trip or about the information?
Information we got from the computers.
Okay. Because some of it's encrypted and will take time to really get through.
Yeah, but he hasn't mentioned it. He hasn't brought it up. He hasn't talked to anybody on the way back. He's just quiet.
Kev I think besides Uriah, who's probably started to encrypt it. I think Kortev's the only other person who's like looked at it right now.
Yeah, yes. I think was it one of y'all kind of flipped through it quickly, just what you.
I was me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Uriah is the one that has it because he nat 20'd, so he just downloaded everything.
Well, as soon as you got to the ship, you'd have backed it up to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time you get, back to the planet, there's probably a copy on every ship there, just for redundancy's sake.
InfoSec is bad over here.
What's that now?
InfoSec is bad over here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's probably
Let's
encrypted,
say-
I'm sure.
Put copies everywhere.
I'd say honestly, Uriah probably hasn't done anything with it. So honestly, other than the copy he has, there probably isn't one anywhere else because he hasn't done it. He just has it.
Yeah, pass the copy.
Well, if you didn't download
I
it to
think
the
it was
main ship, they
both
would have
of
ordered
us.
you to. Because they know they know y'all got away with the information. Y'all reported that to them.
Yeah, well, in that case, they just get a. Honestly, he'd probably, from the sheer amount of data, he probably would have ended up DOSing the ship's system. It's like he wouldn't even try to zip it or anything. He'd just go and then leave.
It's a lot to sort through.
Yeah, he's not talking to anybody right now.
Is he visibly in a funk, or is he just oddly quiet?
Yeah, no, both.
I think oddly quiet for Uriah is visibly in a funk.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, but it's visibly in a funk and just completely silent. Doesn't talk to anybody. Doesn't even recognize that they're in the. He's just avoiding people.
Mm-hmm.
Which is hard to do because this is not the ship that brought you. This ship is fairly crowded.
Yeah. This was really not even. This is really just like a personnel shuttle, so the mechs are kind of cramped in there too.
Yeah, there's enough room for them, but there's not a lot of spare room.
Only just.
Don't worry, you can put in the witch in pieces. It's fine.
You can also put mine in pieces.
More intentionally.
Just kind of Tetris it in there.
But all right. So Patrick, you were the one wanting to look through it on the way home.
Yes.
Okay. You dig through there. You find out, the specs of the ship aren't hard to come up with. But y'all had kind of figured out what design the ship was. What the baseline chassis was.
Baronies, yeah.
Obviously, the Shinar had been making some of their own modifications to it. They weren't really bothering to, design it for anything out of system. You find all, the modifications to the underside docking bay that they were basically turning into a bombing bay.
Yeah.
What
And
kind of
we
what
were-
kind of bombs are we planning to use?
Yeah, because. And also, they said it was in retaliation.
I don't remember if
Mhm.
retaliation was the exact word, but it
In
was a reaction.
response.
In
It was
response,
a-
yes, it was in response to something that in none of
The
the
League.
texts or emails that you've got, none of the communications you've got, does it ever specify what it's reacting to? It's like everybody in the conversation already knows, so nobody sits there and really defines.
Mhm.
Because
Uh,
when we get back to base, I'll actually talk to the commander, and I'd like to actually be a part of the captain's debrief interrogation slash interview, if possible.
all right. Is there anybody else wanting to do anything on the ship in those hours you've got traveling back?
If Vika notices Uriah being in a funk, she'll just park herself purposefully next to him, just obnoxiously next
He's
to him.
posing.
Not like, making him strike up conversation, just being like giant, menacing, 6-something meat muscle just sitting there.
Leaning over against him.
Yeah,
Ty's
pretty
been
much
like
just like,
chilling in the. Ty's been chilling in the dog, just like sitting where her legs are over one arm and she's leaned up against the other and she's writing out a report.
Perhaps kind of making his report, but he can respond to people as he has his like subjectivity enhancement thinking on, so he can just kind of write it in his head.
God, I wish that was real.
Me too.
Get so much done.
You say that, and then it starts writing all these
Yeah.
stray thoughts you have.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ADHD thoughts
no.
you have to like delete out.
I don't know what for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been
I've-
going over this month's reports, but also I'd like to question this section right here. These nuts. Could you explain that to me?
Just randomly
Don't
burst
want
into
that
song
explained.
lyrics.
It's not even like one
images.
coherent song lyric. It's just song lyrics layered over each other. And then something like, "Ooh, that's a nice stick."
Squirrel.
So yeah, y'all get back to base. Jellicoe lets you all, return to your barracks, shower, all that before coming in for the coming in to talk to him.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
Space is stinky.
the little ship y'all were traveling on did not have the facilities for that.
Got to get all the space funk off of me anyway. It's fine.
How does space with like no air still smell just funky?
You don't know what I know.
I don't want to know what you know.
It's like a delousing for Cortev.
Horrible visual.
Uriah steps off. Give him the hose.
Anyway, so y'all get in there for the debrief.
Mhm.
And y'all are meeting with Jellicoe himself. There were other people up on monitors. Some of the captains of the ship, other high-ranking people. There'll be a debrief for everybody involved, but you guys were the ones with the very specific mission. So, first off, Commander Jellicoe tells you very, very good work, people. You got in, you got out. No casualties on your side.
For lack of trying.
However close it may have come, he kind of looks at Vika.
Anything you can walk away from.
Fair enough.
Don't worry, gentlemen, please is still fine. Then it immediately falls apart.
So
I'm just
You didn't
picturing one
come
of his
through.
arms falling off, and Whip just kind of looks over. Are you using that?
It's not even Gentleman Please anymore. Gentleman Please is retired somewhere. Gentleman Please went to a farm upstate.
That's right. This one was
Don't say I didn't warn you.
I'll say I didn't warn you.
That's right.
because when the campaign's over, all your
Gonna be one
nicknames are gonna make a sentence.
paragraph.
I mean, yes.
For the dog.
But it tells you, they've got their specialists working to decrypt the encrypted data that's on there. Needless to say, it's very concerning. The shipyard itself was an escalation by the Shinar. But the sort of weaponry they were going to use, that's a big step up.
Is this where he's just talking at us, or is this where we can like?
No,
voice our
this can
opinions?
be a dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That then Cortez will speak up and say, "I have reason to believe that both sides are being played for fiddles."
Well, I mean, I've seen the conversation where they're doing this in reaction to something. Though so far the League swears up and down they haven't done anything that would have caused this.
Considering we know now that the cult seems to operate on both sides of the conflict, and trust between the two isn't exactly well regarded.
So you think the cult may be in manufacturing?
We know they are manufacturing it.
Well, we know they've been interfering with the war and trying to heighten tensions.
Have we not sent them the audio dialogue about the guy who is okay?
Nope.
Then yeah, Cortez will just forward that.
But as far as this particular incident, we don't have any proof it was them yet.
Gotcha.
Is Jellicoe's point.
Fair enough.
He feels that you are more than likely right, but they have caught the League keeping secrets before, so
We did catch them with that weird extra floor. It's like our first mission.
Yep. Oh no, these guys were just out doing humanitarian stuff. Oops,
No,
secret base.
Oops, secret base with the self-destruct button.
Doesn't everyone have one of those?
Probably depends on what company made your base. So yeah, he doesn't doubt that you're probably right there, but they need evidence. I mean, everybody, you guys have already discovered enough that everybody on both sides of the war are really looking at the cult closely now.
That's good. Is there any talks of if both sides know that there is someone most likely propping them up against each other? Is there any talk of a ceasefire?
Not as of yet. Both sides seem to be heavily debating it. The Warhawks on either side are kind of poo-pooing the idea that the cult is in their mind a terrorist organization. It is definitely an issue, but they find it frankly insulting to think that people would think that a small cult like that would be capable of manipulating their entire empire.
Well, despite the fact this is the third conflict, and there doesn't seem to be neither side seems to know the actual cause of this one.
Yeah, they know the trigger event, but nobody seems to know who actually is responsible for it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh.
Excuse me.
And
No,
the trigger
this-
event was what?
Oh, we've gone over it before. There was basically like a border town that there was a regular conflict over, and somebody blew it off the map essentially. That was the triggering event. But where the start of the previous two wars, both sides would claim the other one did it. You could kind of dig through the propaganda and figure out which side it was in either one of those incidents or instances. In this one, there really isn't. It's really like, neither side seemed to be poised to really escalate, and then this happened, and
Of course it did. They started talking about a ceasefire and suddenly escalation. It's like someone is manipulating things in the background and they're too idiotic to notice.
pride goeth before the fall.
Quite.
At the
not
cost of
like
an
we
entire
have-
planet, Nick.
Maybe they need
It's
to
not
get their
like humanity
heads out of their
hasn't seen
asses.
this constantly throughout our history. That's half the reason the Union exists.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe they should get their heads out of their asses then.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. We may be in for a long wait with that one. The best we can do is gather enough proof that they'll realize they have to do something. But let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else important he needed to tell you. Was there anything else y'all would want to specifically ask him about?
No.
I think I'm good for now.
Okay. Now, Patrick, you were going to have Freddy request to be part of the interrogation.
Correct.
Okay. He seems a little puzzled by the request, but yeah, he doesn't really see. I don't really see a problem with it.
Largely because during the incident on the ship, me and the captain had at least gotten into contact with each other and negotiated a surrender.
Yeah, actually, that makes sense. He's got at least somewhat of a personal connection with you. That might actually be beneficial. I mean, I doubt he's going to tell us very much. I doubt he's going to intentionally tell us very much. Hopefully, we can get him to slip up.
They talked about Spaceballed again.
But yeah, that's all y'all got for him. You're dismissed. Obviously he expects full reports in the next day or so.
You'll get what I can give you. Are we dismissed?
This whole time, Vika's just been kind of hard side-eyeing the brother.
Uriah, is everything all right?
Nothing you can do about it if it wasn't.
I try to be patient with you, with your eccentricities, because you get such results. But I'm not liking this attitude. Just don't let it become a habit. You're dismissed.
He just gets up and leaves.
I will look at Vika.
Jellicoe's looking at
Hanging up
Vika.
people looking at each other.
And if y'all, if Uriah gets out the door before the rest of y'all finish getting up, he'll ask Vika, did something happen? I mean, I know it was a tense mission.
I think it's been a number of tense missions and a bunch of culminations of things.
A lot of close calls.
I'll leave and run after Uriah. If she can find him, if he hasn't already sped off.
Went outside immediately into the vents. No.
Yeah, he's just walking.
She'll
Yes, Ty.
walk beside him. You all right?
Quiet,
Well
I'm
enough.
brooding.
I'm
What did you
well
say?
enough.
Sorry.
Why?
You are brooding.
Just being myself.
Liar.
No. The one you've known has been a lie.
Okay. You want to talk?
Need to figure out how to attach a thermonuclear warhead to Vika's mech without her knowing.
Okay, why?
Because the last thing that thing popped up, it ate my fiance and my arm.
Ah. So why are you wanting to attach it to potentially kill your sister?
No, to get rid of it so it's no longer a problem.
Yeah, but the problem is Horace is fucky.
I'm well aware. I'm in a team with a giant pile of them that like to flaunt it around.
True,
And
but
on top of that, just about everyone has NHPs, and that was also part of the problem. One decided, hey, it's time to see what humans taste like.
she's just looking at him and then looks over at the two floating beside her.
They've drifted a little further back as the talking going on. Even Coca ain't been saying nothing here.
She like looks behind her like, oh god.
They've all got looks like, ooh.
It's like,
It's dropped back about
Hey.
400 meters here.
So
guess-
yes, I have a bit of a problem with them, as well
I
as
just-
Horace in general.
Just getting the image of Tiana with Uri on a couch. Now, how does that make you feel?
Jesus.
Ty, she just sighs and she's just said, well, she's still your sister. We're still your friends. I hope. We're just
You've
trying to use
pretty
the
much
tools
got
that.
adopted by Vika at this point. That's the only reason why we're talking right now.
Well, I mean, I did drag her across space.
And then used her as a cudgel. Yes, I'm
I
aware.
did not hit her. I did not use her mech to hit anyone. Damn it!
No, but I know her. She was amused.
Look, if you want to talk about it, talk about it. But if you don't want to talk about it, I understand. There's some things that I don't want to talk about either.
Well, I've already shared. You might as well.
I'm in debt.
Cool, so am I. Want to compare?
Uh, you know all of our paychecks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
We get
they've all go
paychecks?
pay for missions. It's like they've all been going to my arm. And if I miss another payment, I lose my arm and my NHPs.
Well, they'd have to come and physically take the NHPs from you for that to happen, because trusting one to go through the net is a
Oh
fool's
yeah,
errand.
no, it would be a physical repo.
And if you need another arm, I can just make you.
Yeah, I know.
I could even
I'm
give
sure
you a
I.
plasma cannon if you want to.
We don't. Maybe a sniper rifle. Maybe I'll do that because I'm good with snipers.
Sniper rifle wouldn't be able to fit in something the size of an though.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotta make it
Okay, we're
tough.
just gonna keep walking and talking.
Actually, while I'm thinking about it, he
Mhm.
pauses. Rabbit, Koke, can you two come over here, please?
Oh no.
Ty
Rabbit looks a
back
little
at them.
trepidatious, but she comes forward, and Coke just has a suspicious look on her face. And the probes are flying up and projecting them down like
Yeah.
human size right now.
she'll yeah.
There's a question I need to ask you two. Is it possible For some outside source beyond system trauma or a reactor meltdown to cause a cascade.
Theoretically, well, I mean,
internal tampering for sure.
yeah, I mean, intentional sabotage, anything that removes or damages the shackles.
And specifically the coffin.
Well, I'm aware of the coffin because the last one I had to deal with, I had to blow up the coffin. But
I mean, but the coffin is how they're shackled. If something tampers with the shackles on the coffin,
well, there's a lot of program. There's a lot of the shackles are like programming and this, that, and the other too.
yeah.
To limit how much our minds expand. Well, how much they expand out in weird directions.
Uriah literally pauses mid-sentence, like literally in the hallway. And then, Mika, you get a message like, I need to see you immediately.
I like when he pauses, Ty walks like 2 steps forward, then stops and turns.
Well, you wandered off. I will catch up in a moment. Give me a direction.
By your mech. And
She'll catch up once everything else is finished here.
yeah, and then he's goes, that's... He studies the two of them for a second. I think she would have liked you.
Ty's looking between Rabbit and Coke.
Rabbit's just looking at Ty.
He'll tap the drone Koke's on. Especially you. You act almost like her. And then he just continues on to where the mechs are stored.
Yeah, Ty
Was he hitting on me? Is that what that was?
No. He was being
Maybe.
friendly. Maybe it was an apology. Maybe you should take it as an apology.
Kind of creepy is what it was. Oh yeah, you remind me of my dead fiance.
But Ty will
Different
follow.
people cope in different ways.
Yeah, if anybody else wants to do stuff.
Yeah, Vika will catch up in a little while if anyone else wants to do stuff.
Alright.
I think Korteb just kind of like sidles over to Vika actually and goes, "So, thing I said that was gonna happen happened."
Yeah. Things are going to get interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there like a primer for this that you were given that maybe you could forward to me, or should I expect that in the mail, or?
It's weird because I have a vague understanding of how to use my mech when I'm out of it. But when I'm in the mech, it's like I've used it for years.
Okay.
Yeah, like I can tell you how to activate the mech and move all the drones but I don't feel like I have the motor skills to do it. But when things happen in the mech where sometimes I have to move all of my drones all at once and they can all I feel like I'm top down looking down at it and just commanding.
Like chess or an orchestra or like a conductor.
Yes, I think conductor is probably a better way to put it. Chess implies I can move other people's stuff, and while I can, I don't like to make a habit of it.
Not yet.
Conductor one.
Yep. Well, backup names for the other backup names for a new mech if it comes to it. I've been getting emails from IPS North Star that they've been trying to send me a mech. The IPSN Kid. It's a solid mech.
You get stuck in customs or something, or?
They keep saying it's been returned to sender, but I haven't received one.
I mean, you could ask the engineers around here.
I suppose. And he'll bring up like the Space Amazon where it shows the tracking information and it's just like stuck in.
It keeps going from California to Michigan back and forth, and I don't know why.
That seems oddly specific.
I had a package that just bounced between 2 sorting stations for about 2 or 3 weeks.
And then he goes, so stranger things are afoot, but just keep in mind that things are going to get tricky from here. Looks like your potential bubble burst, and he taps Vico on like the up as high as he
Arm.
can reach. It's probably like the shoulder, the elbow joint.
She's 6'4", so
All right. And the weird thing with your mech was, that, if I remember right, you said it was repairing it. It basically repaired itself.
once it gets back and they like park it, it would basically start repairing itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Baylor
That's a
frame
Baylor
tree.
trait.
Nanomachine, son!
So does it look different right now?
If you look in the Discord channel, I did put what her new mech will look like. It'll basically be White Witch, a little beefier, with a nanomachine cloak.
Okay.
I couldn't get it to where it kept the same like kind of spiked cowl kind of situation, but beefier White Witch with a cowl.
Okay.
Just hear Edna Mode from Incredibles.
No capes!
Yeah.
Made of nanobots, it's fine.
The cape won't get stuck in anything. Things will get stuck in it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's it. That's all Cortez wanted.
That's kind of had me like, if it gets weird, like, and you just, I don't guarantee I'm going to comprehend most of it, but if you want to talk about
You
it,
will not.
I know I probably won't. But if you want to talk about the weirdness, I'll at least commiserate once the weirdness hits over here.
And it will.
It feels like a threat.
Because it is.
Good to know. Very meaty shoulder pat and continues
Oh.
out the room. Sorry.
I don't think I can read the instruction manual. Good news, it's a suppository.
Oh no.
Don't like
Hate
that.
that.
All right. So what's Freddy doing?
Well, right now I'm waiting on the interrogation, so
Oh,
Feeling
that's
out.
right. You're hanging around with Jellicoe. You're actually not leaving.
yeah.
He asked you just wait for a few minutes, and he confers with the other guys that were part of the debrief on the screens. They didn't ask y'all a whole lot of questions or anything. They were mostly talking about the naval engagement part of it. But
I think Cortez would stick around for questions if any of them had any.
Yeah.
Once
well, they would
they're
have happened
done
during the
with
debrief. I mean,
Mhm.
So yeah, 15, 20 minutes later, Freddy, he takes you over to the, or he goes over with you to the, not barracks, brig.
Brig.
I knew it was something with a B. And they've got Captain, what's his face?
Genuinely would be surprised if you gave him a name.
Actually, he did, because I asked him what it was, and he had to come up with
Was
one.
it Elif
Yes.
Yilmaz? See, I knew it right where it was at. Thought I should have put Captain in front of it so I'd identify it faster. But anyway. So you go over there, and the captain's sitting in sitting in an interrogation room. He's still in his uniform.
What time of day is it, by the way?
That's a good question. It's about 1,500 hours.
3-ish.
Yeah. Well, good afternoon, Captain.
He wouldn't call you Freddy. What was your last? What's Freddy's last name?
Whitehorse.
Lancer Whitehorse.
Finding the accommodations comfortable?
I'm not being mistreated. It's fine. He wasn't really expecting anything different from Union. They do have a pretty good reputation. Captain Jellicoe introduces himself, or Commander Jellicoe rather, introduces himself. And there are other interrogators, in the room. There's of course a two-way mirror kind of, or one-way mirror kind of thing. There's people monitoring.
Well, at most, I'd like to ask you the reason for your mission.
Let's see, how much would he be willing to tell you? At first, he's kind of like, he's kind of the basic name, rank, and serial number kind of thing. He's not really at liberty to discuss the mission in detail.
And then, from what we've been able to determine, you were preparing to drop a large amount of atomic ordnance on a planet in response to something. Now, I do have my issues with Union on occasion. Overall, keeping humanity from completely wiping itself out is half the reason it exists.
It's like he wasn't sure how much information y'all had already figured out, or exactly what you'd gotten off the ship, or any of that. But when he mentioned the nukes, it's like, okay. He goes, well, if you examine the specs on the bombs, they're not low yield, but the actual radiation fallout from them is pretty minimal. And you don't want to be within a couple of miles of where one drops, but it's they have no interest in permanently damaging the planet. But you ask what it's in response to. He feels he can probably tell you that. They had received intelligence that the League was working on some sort of new stealth tech that they could equip missiles with. And if the League is willing to use atomic devices, then we have to have something to respond with.
Out of all of the reasons, now, the fact that I have a mech that can turn invisible at times, stealth tech is actually a fairly common thing. Why this immediate response, and why do you suspect that would be their first course of action?
Well, like I said, we had received intelligence pointing to this. And traditionally, missiles are a little harder to do stealthily, since you have, all that propulsion firing out the back end. Now, he's the captain of one ship. He does not have the clearance to have the full details or have seen the actual intelligence himself. This is coming, this is just what he's gotten coming down. But overall, the fleet of bombers was intended to be a deterrent more than anything. We were not going to be the first ones to drop one of these devices.
The trouble about deterrents is they're often used regardless.
Those decisions are above his pay grade. I assume, and he kind of looks between you and Jellicoe. I assume Union was not on board with their use of nuclear devices?
We never are.
Never? Have you studied your own history?
We're trying to keep that from happening again.
So not never, just hopefully never again.
But Setcom did, and that's half the reason why the revolution occurred.
Angelico launches into a hell, rah rah third com kind of thing.
Yeah.
So is there any other specific information you want to get out of him?
On a whole, why do you think this war actually started? Because I've been doing my own research into this. And while everyone seems to think this city being destroyed caused it, no one seems to know who actually shot it.
Sorry, I was looking for the.
The actual, like, town's name?
Yeah, because I know I jotted that down somewhere. But, well, the explode. I wouldn't say that explosion caused the war. Tensions had been building up. So there was plenty of fuel for a fire laying around, and the attack on the town was just the match. But and of course,
no one...
we all say the other side did it, but I know what you're talking about. Even with the previous wars, if you really poked around, you could find out. We started the first one, the League started the second one. But still, there was always that build up ahead of time. It was just who crossed the line first, and this time, yeah.
And another thing I've been digging into, as we've encountered them more often than not, the cult of Inerta.
Yes, they've been something of a problem for us for a while. So they've certainly increased their presence during this war.
Would you be interested to know they also seem to be very interested in keeping this war going?
Well, they do ultimately want Shinar to run the entire planet, as long as they're running Shinar or Matt Shinar. That is my understanding of their basic principles, basic goals, at least as of back when they founded. Once they were kind of driven more underground, who knows how a cult has adapted since then.
This is more me asking. Because I'm blanking on Shinar, that is actually, is that the League, or is that they
Matt Shinar is your opponents.
Opponents, okay.
The League's more kind of full name is the Thermian League.
Thermian League, yeah.
Yeah, because they're more Greek city-states. The Matt Shinar is more like an actual kingdom, per se.
Yeah, it's got nobles. It's kind of a constitutional monarch sort of setup, or constitutional empire, if you can have such a thing.
Yeah, probably why they get on with baronies really well.
Quite possibly.
The reason why the reason why I'm suspicious of them in this instance, and possibly even this intelligence, one of our earlier missions, and I actually turned the commander, is it okay to disclose a bit of information on the rescue operation?
On the rescue operation. First he pulls you out. All right, let's step outside and tell me what you want. What you want to tell him about.
When we had to rescue the senator's son, because that's when we first encountered the cult.
He pulls up some, he goes through some details. What is it exactly that you're wanting to tell him?
That they were, after we had essentially extracted the senator's son, that they ambushed us with the full intent of eliminating him.
Well, even before that, they were all in through that base.
Yeah.
If you remember, Forward Base Achilles.
Well, they were matching our agents, but the actual guys who ambushed us. That was the actual cult.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Oh yeah, he didn't have a problem with that because the secrecy there was ahead of time, trying to get in there and get him out. So yeah, it's not a problem now. All right, y'all go back in.
Apologies, I had to get. I'm still a soldier, and I wanted to make sure I had clearance before telling you this.
Of course.
And this is me. What was that senator's son name? Oh wait, because it was you unintentionally gave him a pun name, if I remember correctly.
That was not unintentional.
No, it was absolutely unintentional.
Yeah.
I was literally just grabbing Greek names from or Roman names from a history podcast.
Mm.
The focuses were, there was a focused like dynasty of emperors in Constantinople. Justin was a different emperor in Constantinople. It was just a bad combination.
When we first arrived here, one of our earliest operations was extracting Justin Focus, the son of Senator Focus.
He had heard something of this.
And we were ambushed by Inerta forces while attempting to extract, and their mission was to eliminate Senator's son.
We're aware that they try to escalate when they can. And you think this? What you're implying is that this intelligence that we received might have been faked by them.
Considering some of the more recent things we have encountered about them, more than likely.
Well, our intelligence services are not they're not incompetent. Though misinformation, attacks can happen.
But like you just said, they try to escalate when possible. And if you escalate, what do you think the League's gonna do?
Do you have any proof of this, though? I admit the theory, in theory, this is sound.
At most, it's at least something each side pause.
If I was allowed, I could send a communique back, asking them to double check, to look into this theory of yours.
Then I just turn to the commander.
Well, we can allow that. I mean, how much they'll trust it since he's in our custody and all that, but that's just going to be an issue.
And another thing I'd like to ask, since you've got purview to some intelligence. Did the League share any information with you about the Inerta cult's weaponization of the megafauna?
They did pass some information our way. I have not seen the information myself. It's, just not in my my jurisdiction. Or
just wanted to make sure lines of communications are still open.
Yeah, and we did receive the information on the satellites, on the little satellite network they had set up. Like the cult has no free, nobody on my side publicly supports the cult.
And it's the ones that are not that are secretly supporting them that might be a concern.
Well, if they've been as active over here as we've been hearing, you might want to look into the League for that as well.
Thank you for the suggestion.
Okay, now is there anything else specifically that you wanted to quiz me about? Or?
I just wanted a confirmation and to see where this was, more or less what intel he had, and to be able to pass that along.
Okay. All right then. Melody and Audrey.
Playing volleyball on the beach.
Not yet. Is Audrey with us? I can't see. Oh, okay. I see movement now.
He's pulling up.
NOS mode.
This same day, you two are getting back to base. You've been out skirmishing on the border. Acting as backup to it for another for another group of lancers. It's like you're the not swing shift, just the fill-in guys. You're like the temps.
Yeah.
But you finally gotten back to base. You walk your mechs into the bay. You see the workshop's mechs being worked on. Something looks weird about Vika's mech.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
At this stage, it doesn't look like it. It looks like it had the ever-loving crap shot out of it. But like the arms are a little bigger. It's like if you took a picture. It's like you took a picture of Vika's mech and then you started warping the dimensions on it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a before and after of gym photo.
And none of the techs.
Which one
None
are
of the
you
techs
playing with the warp tool?
And none of the techs in the none of the mechanics in the shop are working on it.
It's just repairing itself.
There's literally like caution tape sort of thing kind of blocking it off.
Yes.
You got one guy with like a stick, and then the stick just goes into the mech.
He's in the hangar. I'm sure Uriah and Ty are probably there at Vika's mech, probably. At this
If Vika
point.
was heading towards the mech after talking with
Well,
Cortana.
technically, they were probably getting there while y'all were in the debriefing.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I can guarantee you, Audrey has after he's parked his mech, he has gotten out, stared at Vika's mech, slightly glanced around the workshop to, as you state, no one really working on it. He is then going to go immediately to the one table that's got the coffee pot on it, pour a cup, and he's going to just stand there and watch for about a handful of seconds and wait in case anyone comes by to talk to him. Because he's going to just kind of watch this for a few minutes.
all right.
Like watching a fire in slow motion.
No, more like a train wreck.
The fun thing, Audrey, is as you're watching these for several minutes before Vika, I know, was heading this way. Were you?
Ty and Uriah would have beat her.
this way.
They were heading there
Okay.
first.
That's right. And you were going to meet up with them, so so y'all all three would wind up arriving here.
We'd have to probably get there on his own because he's not doing anything else special because he's like writing the thing in his head anyway.
Mhm.
He just takes a circuitous route because he's writing.
All right. Melody, how do you react to what you're seeing?
It'd be interesting to say the least. I mean, it looks like Vika's mech, but it doesn't look like Vika's mech.
It's like Vika's mech's been hitting the roids.
Something like that.
Look, every day is leg day. And arm day.
Every day she's shuffling.
So you're basically over there with Audrey drinking coffee and watching it. And you
Kind of.
start to notice after a couple of minutes, it's like it's slightly less damage than it was. But you can't really pinpoint when you actually saw any of the damage go away.
It's like
Just,
they
it's like
blink
just at a
and
certain point,
there's
wait a
another
minute,
piece.
that hole there is a little smaller than it was.
Or if it was ever really there. Ooh.
I can guarantee you at this point, Audrey has like straight up like thought about it, still got the mug in hand, walks over to another table, looks around for a tablet, probably a wire or two, comes back. God, I need to run diagnostics right now, but I'm a little too nervous to see what this is going to do to this poor tablet.
One of the mechanics, when he sees you kind of approach the caution tape a little bit, he's like, I wouldn't get too close to it. I mean, it's probably safe, but we're not sure how it's repairing itself or where it's getting the raw materials. So we've all just been staying out of arm's reach, so to speak.
None of you thought to run a diagnostic to
Oh,
check
the
and
thought has
see?
crossed our mind, but we're gonna just we're gonna wait till the pilot gets here. We'll let the Lancer deal with it.
Nobody has called her.
So,
It's 5 missed calls.
She
you
put that stuff on silent as soon as she landed.
I say at that point, Audrey would look at the other fellow mechanic like, point taken. Question: we do have access to databases on particular different companies of mechs, correct? Like Horus and all that.
Sure. I mean, we don't really know a whole lot about Horus, and their models of mechs are very kind of vague and really just broad categories.
It can be anything.
And there's another
Fair
mechanic further on
enough.
that goes, Horus is an artist. Each one is unique. They're a work of art.
There's
They're
3
just
of them
freaky,
in
creepy
this
works of art.
hangar.
And speaking of Horus mechs, Melody's gonna go look to see if her lich came in.
Was always there.
Is the Lich
Wait.
Horus? Yeah, that's right.
The Lich has always been there.
The Lich is Horus. The Witch is the one that's not Horus. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Audrey would hear you utter them like, wait, you ordered another one? Well, if it's in the budget.
You don't order them as much as they order you.
But
It's
at this
always there.
point, until any other of the group comes up, at this point, Audrey is like just kind of lightly thumbing, just kind of reading through Horus and any other like group to understand. Like, okay, so this company does this company does this. That's great. It's like where's the nanotechnology? There's got to be some extra I'm not seeing yet.
Well, the Horus is kind of like a gotcha game for printers. You don't know you're going to get one until you get one.
But though the Battlelore is it the only one that does the self repair
Yes.
by
Yes.
default? So that would be a quality you'd come across. When you're looking for kind of weirdness,
Unique aspects of
there's a lot of weirdness in the Horus stuff. But
Like the Birder's Guide for Lancer mechs.
But Melody, you go and check. And you go over to the printer where you left the goblin, because you and Audrey's, your mechs were damaged, so they're getting nothing too severe. But they're getting patched up. And you got a mechanic with his back's to the printer and he's working on the computer. And about the time you get there, you hear this kind of ding chime thing from the printer, and the mechanic's up. How is it? It can't be done already. And he turns around. It's like he's looking, goblin level, and then he has to look up.
Return the slab.
He just reaches over to the intercom unit. We've got another one.
Oh, Goblin was Horus, I think.
Goblin is Horus, yes.
Oh, it is. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. He's a little
Goblin
less.
is Horus.
He's a little
Lich
less
is
freaked
also-
out then.
Like,
Just
shit, not
Pokemon
again.
evolved.
Yeah, Goblin is, I think, one of the few Horus mechs that actually is standardized. Like, each goblin looks like a goblin, if I remember correctly.
Might will be. He just look over at Melody. Congratulations! It looks like you got an upgrade.
Perfect.
Trying to remember, did your mech have an AI in it?
No.
No, mine does.
Okay.
I mean, it has an AI, but doesn't have an AI. It's the one that comes with it when you
AI Inception.
The
Well, you've got kind of real world AIs where it's just advanced
Yeah, no.
programming, and then you
There's-
got NHPs.
Yeah, there's an NHP.
Oh, okay.
yeah, because I want to say Lich is the one, because they're not sure if the Lich is one mech, several mechs, or it's just the same mech and the same consciousness.
Gotcha.
Because it apparently was, it says it was built 1,500 years in the future.
Perfect.
Yeah. if you look excited about it, the guy's just looking at you like, Lances are a whole nother breed. Aubrey, as you start to read up on the Balors, that is when Uriah and Tiana arrive. So y'all show up, and you see Aubrey sitting there with a tablet, just looking at the tablet, looking up at Vika's mech, looking at the tablet.
If he is lucky enough to hear the footsteps, he's just basically going to utter, right, when was anyone going to tell me this was the license level that was added to her mech?
It wasn't on purpose.
You don't really know you're getting that license level. It just happens.
Like, he stops, turns to Tiana, like, pardon?
You talk to Vika. She pulls up like a data pad, and she just starts scanning Vika's mech.
Fair enough. I was hoping to run diagnostic on it at some point anyway.
She's doing a scan, doing diagnostic, all that good stuff.
Uriah, what are you doing? And you see the mech as I've described. It's Vika's, but it's like warping and getting bigger kind of thing.
Coquet and Rabbit are staying near the dog.
Uriah's having several mental breakdowns at once.
You see Coquet and Rabbit over there with their little hog rabbit fingers, like poking the dog, like they're making sure it's still what it is.
And then they land on it and just sit there on the
even
edge
though
of the dog,
technically they're already inside it. They're broadcasting to these drones, not actually in the drones.
Yeah.
That's just the image of Whip has like a stick poking it.
Ty will reach over and punch Uriah. Sighing doesn't answer questions. As a joke.
Not sure what to do, really.
Hearing that tone coming from him, Audrey is actually going to take a moment to just turn. Something's upset you, hasn't it?
Something like that.
It wasn't me this time.
Without hesitation, he's just like, trust me, you might just want a glass of whiskey tonight. It might help. Either to sleep or forget, whichever one you prefer.
Did you say, is there a free printer?
Yeah, Uriah's like,
That's-
that's not something I'm ever going to be forgetting. But yeah, it's like he also asked if there's a free printer.
No, there are. This is a fairly large base. There's a lot of printers. Printer slash, mech dogs.
He's gonna shoot off a message to the commander. It's very short, single sentence. I'm hijacking a printer for an experiment.
You just get back. Don't blow it up.
Commander's like, okay, he's back to normal. ...
And then try not to blow it up.
Follow-up sentence. You'll know if it works when a new prototype mech is in the bay.
Oh yes, because that's not concerning to hear.
It's
Or
fine.
read.
Keep me. You literally get. Keep me posted.
And he will. Picture I sent you, Jason.
Mm-mm.
He starts loading that up to start being printed.
Ty does ask if he needs some help with that, if he needed it.
Yeah.
She'll go help.
I'm just picturing a very long
Leaving.
3D printing cycle.
As the two are walking away, without hesitation, Audrey just utters, "Don't forget to get some coffee. There's some on the table."
I don't drink
Prob-
coffee.
I'll probably need it. Is it black?
No, it's
Well,
purple.
My soul.
he would have smirked and would just be like, "Well, depending on whose soul you feel like consuming today, it could be any."
Works for me.
Vika, you walk into discussing soul consuming.
Why are you guys eating people's souls? That sounds unhealthy.
Coffee on the table.
I'm more concerned why there's glitter in it.
Like, I'm good. It'll help. I'll get something off the headache and then get the coffee later.
And you see your
There's
mech
just a diag-
hulking out in slow motion.
As a
Very slow
diagnostic scan is being ran on a monitor.
Is Ty there while the diagnostic scan, like doing the diagnostic scan?
She walks over and helps Uriah for a second, but then she goes back and checks it every so often.
She turns off the diagnostic scan.
Okay.
Do I go poking around in your mech?
Well, no, but okay, fine. She just goes and helps Uriah.
Caution tape is still up around it.
Yes.
Kind of left and right glance. Are any of the engineers paying attention at the moment?
There's about 3 of them who noticed you came in and are just watching you now. A couple of them are watching you and trying not to,
And make it obvious.
One guy just stopped what he is doing and has turned around and just leans against his, leans back in his chair.
Is Uriah watching?
He's over futzing around at another part of the thing.
Only so many traumas a day. She's gonna, because you can communicate with you can basically try and do you have to log into your mech physically to communicate with it? Well, you know
Has to
what?
be on.
It's probably on if it's parked and
Is it?
repairing. Is it on?
It appears to have some power, yes.
She's gonna walk right up to the edge of the caution tape and just kind of look up at it cross-armed.
It's just standing there. Just slowly being less damaged.
Ma'am, if I may, scowling at it like you would your brother is not going to improve.
No, this isn't my brother's scowl.
Forgive me, I haven't seen very many variations yet, so I'll learn it eventually.
Flicks up the caution tape, walks underneath it, takes a couple steps towards the mech.
Oh shit.
The mech doesn't react.
People are reacting more than the mech is.
It's her mech. She's the pilot, and she's just gonna take a walk up to it.
Okay.
Oh, this could go horribly bad, but just
The approaching me
slaps it.
starts.
Not slaps it, but just like puts it. Not slaps it viciously, like puts a hand on it.
It does not eat you.
Oh, at least we have an accord.
That's looking down from like a scaffolding. Because some of these mechs can be pretty big, so I imagine there's a scaffolding area to like get the top level of
Yeah,
it.
the dog is pretty big.
Yeah. So he's looking from. He's just kind of like Sting from WCW, just brooding from the top.
Turkey vulture to one side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and Rabbit are just like watching Vika.
What size is a Balor?
Size 2. It's not much bigger than her. It's the same
Okay.
size as White
Okay.
Witch.
It's just bulkier built. Gotcha.
The dog is
I mean,
still bigger.
technically, it could be bulkier built. It can be anything built.
That's true.
It could be a dragon.
I can be blue. I can be brown. No.
A sick ass unicorn.
Man, I should have gone with that.
Oh, Nana. The mane and tail would be Nana. Yeah.
If anything, Audrey would just
Charlie.
just come up a little closer and be like, just doing a little bit of light reading, ma'am. Not quite
I know.
sure what you're doing, but all I ask is do be cautious.
I'm not doing a damn thing.
He kind of glanced up at the mech. There's a wonderful piece of technology would say otherwise, but on that note, I'll stop being nosy.
Some of the
Horus mechs just kind of show up where they feel like it.
And I know it.
some of the mechanics have gotten together and they're like comparing. You realize they're comparing. It's like they had a Deadpool set up as to what would happen.
Is Audrey still scanning her mech?
Well, no, Audrey. He was going to do it the more old-fashioned way by physically hooking it up to see what it would read, but everyone stopped him. But he just has a tablet in his hand, and he's just been reading information on different mechs.
Yeah, if you glance at the tablet currently, he's got the Balor page looked up because he found where it's self-repair. So that's the most likely category this thing would fall into.
Yep, I know about the maw.
Just struck me as odd as soon as I came in. I just wanted to understand what we got on our hands. That's all.
Don't worry about it. And gives the Baylor a little bit of a pat and walks out.
Don't worry, ma'am. It's your machine. Just trying to be a cautious / protective coworker.
Freddy's standing next to Whip. He looks up at Whip. Remember, Whip. Just say no to Horus.
You get a thumbs up from the man.
Next piece is a Horus piece. He's like, don't know where it came from.
Just showed up one day.
Horus, the STD of the slip.
Oh God.
Oh God.
No.
Hate that.
Now, out of character for a moment, for those who don't know, there's something a little extra inside the Monarch, which happens to technically be a Horus, Gorgon, and Pegasus. So, take that information with what you will.
Everybody's
I
going
wanna see.
horse.
It's
I think
cool as shit.
I think the only two that aren't are like Uriah and Ty.
And me.
And you.
Well, I mean, again, Audrey is not boasting, let alone if he fully knows what's going on, he's not really saying anything. If he going with it, he's probably more of just like, well, these are some cool, interesting systems. This would be very fun to play with in terms of what I'm doing. Yeah, we'll give him a shot. What's the worst that could happen? Not fully knowing all the fuckiness of Horus.
About that time, another mech comes trotting into the.
Do we
Into the
recognize this mech?
Physically trotting like 4 legs.
No. It's bipedal,
What's a
Aw.
dog doing?
but its arms are doing like it's doing a little jive as it comes in.
Ah.
And you
We
hear
know
a,
who this is.
"Wahoo!"
Mm-hmm.
That man better have the speaker like thing.
There's a speaker thing on it.
It's loud enough for y'all to hear. It's not blaring.
Mm.
And he kind of slows down when he sees all these people walking around. What? Make a
Vika
path.
goes over and joins Tiana and Uriah.
Welcome to the party.
He puts his in one of the docks. Not one of the actual printer docks, just one of the regular docks where they can do minor repairs.
Ty
And
also
then,
apologizes
then
to
Charlie
Vika.
Wayne Watts climbs out.
Think-
And at a
Wait,
more
who-
leisurely pace, the rest of the Mad Dogs start streaming in.
Oh,
Who is Charlie Wayne closest to?
I actually think Cortev slides down, and because he's very quick on feet, he'll like slide down to catch up and just. Part of it is him playing spoiler in this moment, but also part of him is like the other people don't need this guy right now. And I just walk up to Charlie and go, "You son of a bitch!" and do the predator handshake.
Oh my god.
Oh, he responds. Oh, yeah. Dude, I hear y'all were in the thick of it.
Oh yeah,
Vika's watching this while draped over Uriah.
it was brutal. I can show you some of the VODs here in a bit, but
Oh, he'd love to see
it
those.
was
Looks like
brutal.
Vicky got the crap shot of. And then he notices the difference in the like he didn't notice it walking past it when he shuffled in, but
He's like, I'm gonna get that son of a bitch painted.
You comment on it, I'm throwing a wrench at you from here.
Comment on it, I'm throwing my brother at you from here.
I'm not gonna do anything.
I'm throwing Tiana at you from here.
I wasn't gonna
Hey.
say anything. And then he mumbles lower, just where Kotev can hear. I mean, it just is like somebody blew it up like a balloon. I don't know.
You should have seen it before this. Better
What?
this than what it was.
And why aren't any of the guys repairing it?
What do you know about paracausal tech?
He doesn't even know what paracausal means.
That discussions about it tend to give me a headache.
That's
What
for the
is this
best.
word?
It's best for you not to fiddle with it then.
Do not receive the mech.
It's best in my years of experience. It is best when paracausal tech comes up to just go, "Oh, it's magic." I know it's not magic, but it's just simpler if you just decide it's magic.
I agree with you. I agree wholeheartedly, Charlie. Now, come on. I want to go over here, away from my group, and we'll talk about what you guys went through. Compare VODs. I don't say the
Here, let's
away,
go get a drink,
I don't say the
Charlie
away.
Wayne.
I don't say the away from the party. I'm saying that for your
Yeah.
sake, not his sake.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Charlie Wayne, let's
You're
go
offering
get
a drink. Let's go.
Yeah, good.
The rest of his
Vika,
crew.
in the distance, goes like this.
It's like
The rest of his crew, they get out. The two you've interacted with the least, the two that are the quietest on the team,
Mhm.
their call signs are Slipstream and Smokes.
Mhm.
And Smokes is lighting up as soon as he gets out of his mech.
Of course.
They both just kind of look at Vika's mech, and just keep walking.
That's it.
Where Diva and Esther, Hellstorm and Flamingo, where Audrey's sitting there with the tablet kind of next to it, they kind of go over to him and, "Hey man, what's going on?"
Not 100% sure. He like just kind of
Flamingo
The
goes,
Balor.
"That me." About to say, about the time you're going, we don't really know. Oh, that's Horace. Okay, you never really know with Horace.
Well, I mean, at the same time, he still has the like tablet page open to the information. So I have a guesstimation, but I'm gonna have to wait till I can definitively say yes or no to this.
Esther, who's the like kind of gothy looking one, like unusually pale. She stays there and starts chatting with you about it. Diva or Flamingo looks around, spots the lich, and heads back that way. Oh, that's one I don't recognize. Or doesn't recognize whose it is.
Yep. This Melody is checking it out, I assume.
Yeah, more most likely. Melody.
Yes.
One of the mad dogs, Diva Pridget, call sign Flamingo. She walks back to where you're at. Assuming you're still over close to your mech. She's like, "Oh, is that yours? I thought you were in a goblin."
Yeah. If I want to try something different.
I guess that leaves Uriah as the only little guy on your team then. Well, I mean, when y'all work with him.
Yeah.
Crap! Now I can't remember what Diva drives. I don't guess it's important, but
Is it also a little guy mech?
well, I've got her character pulled up, but not her mech pulled up. Oh wait, no, there it is. Nah, she's in a size 1, so it's just a normal one. But she asks how y'all's mission went. Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty good.
There's a rumor that we're gonna get some leave soon.
Ooh.
Doc was talking to some of the medical guys, and psychiatric falls under that. And apparently, some of us have been on too many high stress missions in a row, so they may actually be going to send us somewhere nice. As opposed to just you've got time off here on base.
We like to sit in the sun for a while. Not have to worry about much.
Oh, we can hope. They probably won't make an announcement about it until tomorrow, though. Congrats on the new mech, though. Hope you enjoy it.
Thanks.
She heads off to catch up with her crew. Now, Uriah, it takes a couple of days to print out a mech, if I remember right.
Yeah, it takes a while.
So you can certainly get this thing programmed in and set up to go.
Mm-hmm.
And what mech is it technically?
It's technically like for the purposes of stats and like frame traits, it's an Enkidu, which is a Harrison Armory mech. But lore-wise, those things are lost. But so let's say stat-wise, it functions the same, but it's not actually an Enkidu.
Okay.
I just had to find something that would fit its kind of what
Fit what you wanted to do with it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So it is like a custom
Yeah.
kit bashed kind of build.
I would say, isn't an Enkidu like a size 2 though? So
It is.
So he was going from the tiny mech to big mech.
I don't think we have any half-size mechs anymore.
Nope.
Probably won't.
We've all grown up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Still
Or
the
gotten
largest.
fat, depending on how you want to talk about it.
Until someone takes a Barbarossa and then also takes your brick.
For more in frame, yeah.
Yeah, so now it's a size 4 mech.
It's a brick house.
It's just a house.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, yeah.
It's a skyscraper.
Sir, you can't park here.
All right. Well, the more lightly damaged mechs, the mechanics start working on them fairly quickly. Cortev, you spend the evening drinking with Charlie Wayne.
Yeah.
And he
I
He
show
also-
him the
go
I
ahead.
show him the slowed down clip of like Vika's flaming mech like being used as a cudgel.
Damn it. And Ty will continue to say that no, I did not use her as a cudgel.
You're not there. I just saw it.
It's a
Oh,
morning
I know. I'm just
star.
saying.
Send that to me. I want to
whenever
clip
it's
it.
brought up, whenever it was.
I want a poster of that.
I can get you. I can make you a real nice poster. Really good on Photoshop. Space Photoshop.
Well, this is the future. You could have
3D hologram of it.
I'll
Well,
print
no,
it
you
later.
could just have it could just flat out be a GIF in constant motion, but still be a poster.
Oh, that's true.
You know, still be flexible and you roll it up like a poster.
Mm-hmm.
But sure enough, the next day, y'all all get notices. You're called into a meeting. Jellicoe's not there. It's one of his, lower down guys, a lieutenant or whatever. Letting you know, I mean, you're called in. The madmen are called in. Mad dogs, right? I'm sorry. Charlie Wayne's a wild man. That's what keeps throwing me off. And Melody and Audrey, of course. Congratulations, you get to be back up on vacation. But the lieutenant, you're getting a week of leave. We're sending you up north.
We're sending you to a farm up north.
You can help the
Ignore this
locals out.
shotgun.
Mom told
Hear
me that
banjo
when they got rid of
music,
the
just
old
start
dog.
running.
But let's see. It's actually out of league territory. They are sending you up to Farlendan, which is, if you look on your, let me switch over to, if you look on Roll20, if you look in your handouts, you should see Hellenios.
Hello.
I do.
So this is kind of league territory here. Oh, wait. It's not, I'm sorry. It's not a map. I can't actually bloop it. That's inconvenient.
You can use cardinal directions.
Yeah. All right. So the landmass on kind of the southeast, excuse me. You can use cardinal directions, and then I start getting them wrong. You see that kind of long lake
Yeah.
that kind of goes up to this,
This other long lake.
Yeah, that's more of a sea. That lake is a divide between League territory, which is to the west, and Mat Shinar, which is to the east. Y'all are going up above that larger body of water to that weird little peninsula bit that almost connects at 3 different points, but only really connects to this one narrow little point down southwest. And that is Farlendan. I'll learn to pronounce it. But
The word
it's not even that difficult a word. I don't know why I'm stumbling over it all of a sudden.
F stop.
That's a photography thing.
Yeah, it is.
But to the city of Kaliakra, which is it's a coastal city. It's a beach town. It's a tourist attraction. The country is neutral. I've mentioned them before, if not by name. They don't get involved in the wars. They just sell stuff to each side. A lot of times, like for the previous two wars, the peace talks that eventually ended them were held there. They have a very, hey guys, can't we all just get along? They're like the reputation Canada's got if you ignore the actual war crime history and saying sorry all the time.
Sorry.
Or maybe Switzerland if you want something more European.
Mhm.
But that is where they are sending you. Like I said, resort town. There's, casinos, there's shows, there's all kinds of beaches. Beautiful, beautiful beaches. That little area has been more or less cleared of any of the planet's megafauna. So, should be very safe. Y'all should be able to relax. Like I said, take a week off. There are, if you, after this last mission, he goes, I know, I've read the reports. I know some of you, it was a kind of a close call. If you need to talk to somebody about that, there are professionals there. We'll have a list of professionals there that are cleared for you to discuss things with. Their actual union people
Therapists.
that we have stationed there. That's optional. Unless problems start to develop, then it might become less optional. But, he pointedly does not look at your eyes. He's saying,
Your eye is just quiet in the chair, just looking at something.
But if y'all get all packed up, y'all can leave out this evening.
Are we taking our mechs, or is it just us?
He just looks at you. They're neutral.
That doesn't tell me anything.
No, you'll just be taking yourselves.
Okay.
And you see Whip with the straw hat and a beach umbrella, looks dejected, and then walks off.
Tiana, on your comms thing though, you get a message from Coke and Rabbit. We're going, right?
Yes, you are.
Smuggle the coffins in the backpack.
It's like, I am not leaving you behind.
Funny enough, I actually can take Whip with me, but only the NHP.
And he hands you, well, doesn't hand you out brochures, but he sends you via your comm units or tablets or whatnot the equivalent of the brochures about the place, local laws you need to be careful of. They're
Please
very
welcome
strict
our
on things like graffiti, public urination, leaving
Please
trash.
take a look at our timeshare options.
Don't put this one particular statue out. Shout out to the Star Trek nerds.
And it's there's a few little things there's persnickety about. Mostly it's baseline stuff you'd expect,
Well, Welcome to Floston Paradise.
Public drunkenness is technically not something
Welcome to Duloc.
they're
It's
supposed
a
to kind of
perfect
tolerate,
place.
but it's a resort town, so they're a little looser on that as long as you're not causing actual problems.
Dicka, I am now going to call this place Farquad, and I hate you for that.
It's just a little place. Don't worry about it.
Don't forget to wash your face.
You think they're compensating for something?
Ty being the shortest out of everyone here.
Ah.
But so he asks if there's any questions. You'll have a solid week there. They're not the week is not counting the time to and from.
Are we coming back with a full psyche vow? Or is that still optional? I don't care one way or the other,
It's
but
still optional. I mean, you have psyche vows periodically, like routine checkup sort of things. Anyway,
sure.
Unless they really detect some sort of problem or notice some massive change in behavior.
Uriah.
He doesn't say that.
Not bullying the man.
Nah.
But unless something like that crops up, then they might have you go talk to somebody. They want to keep everybody healthy. But Charlie Wayne is very exuberant.
Unlike his usual self.
He's
Yes,
usually
yes.
so subdued.
Everybody seems pleased by it.
Mhm.
Unless, everybody that's not a player. Y'all can
Sure.
be as happy or not happy about it as you want.
Ty has a worried look on her face.
Hold on, it's Gremlin time.
Hi, Gremlin.
I still prefer Hobbit.
I think
Other than the Tolkien.
Yeah,
I can't remember if it's the Tolkien group or the
Tolkien
Estate.
estate is usually how
estate.
I hear
That's
it
what.
called.
Yeah.
Called a halfling. They can't trademark that.
Or a kinder.
If Vika catches the look, she's like, "You're coming, right? I think we were ordered to have a good time."
Is that to
specifically
Ty?
requested that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Charlie
she-
Wayne
she-
from down
she-
there. Yes, fun is mandatory.
She gives a worried glance to Vika, but then she nods.
We can place bets on how quickly it takes for him to get the local law called on him for drunk and disorderly.
She's like
He props up.
She
Charlie
shakes
props
her-
the table. Here's a hint. It's not going to be long. I'm going to get so drunk.
Within
And it's
the
like
hour.
he's stage whispering, like he's trying not to let the lieutenant hear.
Ty just slow glances to Doc.
Do we have a liver transplant like on ice waiting for him?
Ty is like, he's your problem, not mine.
It won't be the first liver I've had to print out for him.
Oh God.
All this time, Smokes is going
File
through the little
saved.
brochure thing.
Smokes.
Seems to be
having
focused
gone
on the
through six
casinos.
packs.
Oh
There's
God.
no smoking there? I'm staying here.
No, this is the future. Cigarettes and cigars are much
it's a state-
safer.
It's a stage effect. It's not actually like it's a tick. It's not actually like producing nicotine.
Oh, sure it is, but cancer's been cured by now, so who cares?
Just print him out
Fair
some
enough.
new lungs.
I was fixed to say, if we're starting to
laser
just
the
print
growth.
out organs, then at this point, who pissing cares? Just like, yeah, we'll get that changed out come next week.
Let's go pack our meager belongings, everyone.
Meager.
Oh, our belongings. I don't know.
And for a beach trip, I don't know about you.
As y'all are leaving, you hear Charlie Wayne asking the lieutenant, "Hey, are there any nude beaches?"
God. She,
Raw, grant me strength.
she comes over the comms to Rabbit and Koke. Please, God, do not let me walk into a nude beach.
Rabbit's like, I'm checking. I'm not seeing where there are any.
Thank you, Rabbit.
The trick is, though, if he's drunk,
Every
Every
beach
beach
is
is a nude beach.
Yeah.
Question. I turn to Koke. Can you transmit a sensor bar or pixelation?
I don't.
Really going to traumatize the
I
poor
guess
girl
we
like that?
could. I mean, if we were going to record him running around, I guess
Oh
we could
God,
slap
please
that on
don't.
there.
No, God,
No.
don't.
But I don't
sully
really
my hard
want
drives
to.
with that.
All right, what's going on?
Don't ask.
Charlie Wayne was asking about nude beaches.
Horrible, horrible things.
It's like don't sully your recording with that, please. Jeez. Ty's just continuing to walk to
It
record.
is a
Rabbit's like,
child.
I was just talking hypothetically. I swear.
You would have to perceive it. You're not necessarily recording it, but if you were at the same time of perception, just had like a little.
You know, Koke's hologram
We're
suddenly
not-
has like a professional looking,
Well, the trick
Yeah,
is,
Oh
though,
no!
which is probably pretty small in the future, but still.
Ty
Yeah,
reaches up and just flicks
actually,
the,
no, what I
the
was going
drone a
with that
bit.
is, can he basically like broadcast, like basically have a hologram sensor bar appear in front of him when that comes up?
A hard light sensor
Oh,
bar.
like a hard light
Yeah.
projection.
Oh,
Yeah.
Koke's like, oh, I get what you're talking about. And she demonstrates by putting a sensor bar across Uriah's face. It's barely noticeable from your side, Uriah. It's like, you can tell there's a slight light, but that's about it. And the rest of
Kind
you,
of bats it
it
away.
causes you can kind of see what's behind it, but it causes a pixelated effect.
Mm-hmm. Actually, kind of cool. Like, aside from the strategic pick, it is actually kind of cool.
You all
Yeah.
are bored, aren't you?
I've been packed for like a day now.
Hmm.
They just told us about this today, so
Right. Well, shall we go then?
Picks
Off
up
to the
the
beach.
brother.
I am capable of walking,
Tosses over the shoulder. Fireman's carry.
Well, I guess we're
get ready
going on
for
the
an
trip.
attitude. Get ready for an attitude adjustment.
Ty just
Hey,
looks up at Uriah, who's now hangover, waves.
I like your shirt.
I like your shirt too. Smacks her on the head.
Doesn't even move.
Audrey, watching this happen, Audrey has somehow attained himself another cup of coffee and just watches as this goes on. And he just says aloud, he has no censoring going on in his mind. It's like, whatever soul is lucky to win that woman's heart over, dear God, will they ever enjoy the one being carried to knowing that someone is going to protect them with their life.
You just hear Ty say, and know how to throw a punch.
That without hesitation, he takes a sip. That was fucking evident just by looking at them.
I can hear you guys from. You're not being subtle.
I'm right behind you.
He takes another sip. I wasn't trying to be.
The ladies of the Mad Men had basically left with y'all because they didn't have any more questions, and they didn't want to hear what Charlie Wayne was going to be asking any more than the rest of you did.
The mission for
blame
the
them.
vacation is make sure Charlie Wayne doesn't get arrested.
But you hear Slipstream go, know how to throw a punch. Whoever marries her probably gonna need to know how to take a punch.
That too.
Wow.
I say that with respect.
You guys keep assuming I'll throw a punch at someone that don't deserve it.
I'm not saying you would. I'm not saying they wouldn't deserve it.
Why would I throw a punch at someone that I'm? Never mind.
You'll get there eventually. Don't worry.
I was going to say Audrey just takes a very large or
I
a
do believe
loud
it's called a
long sip.
tease.
All right, so you'll have the rest of the day to pack up. You're right. If you check in, the printing on your mech is coming along just fine.
Mm.
The mechanics are very interested to see what it turns out to be.
Oh, they've been informed it's a brand new creation.
Yep.
Printing from the bottom up, they're just like watching.
There's some small stringing every once in a while. You'll have to shave it off later.
Uriah leaves it printing, goes on vacation, comes back to, he gets to about the waist, and then it's just spaghetti.
It's been horrified.
No, it's just how some 3D printers mess up.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, the spaghettiing is just the horrifying.
Fair.
Offset increased by 3.
But, so yeah, before you know it, evening comes. Y'all load, you basically eat dinner and then load up.
Take a moment to look up at grid space and just be like, "Not this time, buddy." But I'm sure you'll just show up if I need you.
Before they leave, Vika will sneak to the bay and just jump up into the machine and see if it does anything.
You get up into it, when all the screens light up, you can't seem to access the system. The only message that comes up is not done cooking yet. At least that's all that you can make out of actual words. There's a lot of other stuff going on the screen.
That's oddly cryptic and somehow reassuring. All right. Pat the mech. Please just don't eat anybody. And goes and catches up with everyone.
Vika gets the gif of the guy with a giant wok. Is that saying, "Let them cook"?
Let him cook!
Well, no, this was a show. Vicky would climb out of the mech, and just as she's getting out of the mech, she wouldn't notice it, but the viewers would see nom 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 come up on the screen.
Just Pac-Man goes by.
Pac-Man goes by chasing little cartoon mechanics.
No.
So you fly out on a civilian craft. So you get all the joys of going through the airport. The airport is surprisingly similar to modern day airports.
TSA is still a thing.
Especially
Take off your
during war,
shoes.
especially during wartime. I'm sure we're like stripped to our under things. Oh, these people are war criminals in this country? Oh,
I forgot my passport.
Well, this is League territory that you're flying out of.
yeah.
All of that stuff goes fairly smoothly. They do scan to make sure nobody's trying to take any sidearms or anything.
Mm.
I was treated as a small child the entire way.
Would you like a booster seat?
No,
Maybe some crayons?
I'm a
No!
full-grown woman. I will take the crayons.
I'm not going to say no to those.
Here's a little menu with a word search and a maze.
Nom 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 nom.
I know where you got that reference from, and thank you.
She's a full-grown adult. Does she want some crayons?
Oh, yes.
All right. So y'all spend most of the night, you're sleeping in your chairs. To everyone's surprise, Charlie Wayne doesn't snore. It just seems like something that should naturally, just something you kind of expect out of him.
Maybe it's the altitude.
Very small sleep apnea machines, like internal.
They're like sleep apnea implants in
Yep.
in your
Yeah,
sinuses.
you can just print new sinuses.
Flamingo, on
That
the other
is-
hand, has a almost adorable little snore.
A honk shoe or a honk me.
More of me. And it's like not loud enough that would keep anybody awake.
Well, as folks are doing their thing, Uriah, like once pretty much everyone's falling asleep, he elbows Vika. We need to talk.
We do. You're reverting.
Yeah. Hard not to, considering what you've now cooking in that bay.
To be fair, that was entirely unintentional. It just and I did tell you about it before the last mission. So no acting like I didn't tell you about this. I know
didn't
you
tell me
hate
what
it.
Was.
I think she did say it was
She never
Horus.
said it was she said it was Horus. She didn't say it was a Baylor.
I wasn't 100% sure. All that I got was that it had a lot of potential.
You're not gonna get rid of it, are you?
I think if I try to get rid of it, it just comes back. That's kind of how Horus stuff works. Even if I tried to go back and print another witch or some other mech, it'll just... Surprise!
Surprise.
Trauma.
Pinata. Yeah.
Angry water.
Oh, I know how angry that water gets.
I know, you know.
I still have all the scars from.
Internal and external.
Though speaking of,
What are you printing?
I'll let that be a surprise when we get back.
I fucking hate surprises.
Let's just say it's my project.
There is a narrow-eyed look of concern.
Don't worry about it.
That doesn't unnarrow the look of concern. When you get moody and creative, that's concerning.
Yeah. I just need something that's capable of causing a large amount of damage in a wide area in a short amount of time.
Because you weren't doing that before with a playful elbow.
No, I need to do that when I inevitably go and tear out SSC from its.
One step at a time. We're gonna just try and survive these missions, and then you can try and take down a mega corporation.
I'm going to. I have a very good idea that they were the ones responsible.
I wouldn't put it past them.
At this point, in the seat in front of you, you see Doc very slowly reach over and put on his headphones.
Well, I imagine they would
Is
probably.
it?
They're probably talking in their native tongue. If they're just talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, they're talking in their own language.
In that case, it's probably
Is this-
more of a these people are talking. I'm trying to sleep. There we go.
And is
Keep
this
quiet.
like? Is this like 3 seats or 2 seats? Then like a middle section that's like
They're
3 or
talking
4
over
seats?
Ty.
That's what I was wondering. Because Ty's just sitting there, literally like this, just like out.
Oh, Ty's been co-opted as you are the third sibling now. You're with us.
Ty's just like rabbit and everything, just using it as a pillow. Just
This is bigger than a normal plane, so we're going to say 3 seats on the side, and you have a row of 2 in the middle.
okay.
So 3 seats on the sides. It's
No, on
Vika,
either
Ty,
side. Two in the
Uriah.
middle.
Vika wants the aisle seat, legroom.
Yeah. Uriah likes the windows.
So Ty's in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I said, you've been co-opted as the third sibling. Congratulations.
She's just asleep with the rabbit. Just
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. It didn't try to eat me.
You got in it.
I went up and touched it.
Vika gets a perfect copy of her narrowed eyes look of concern back at her.
Maybe I went and sat in it. If I'm
okay.
if I'm the
and
pilot,
rabbit doing. What is Ty's and HP's doing? Are
I'm
they
picturing.
treated like pets?
I am picturing. No, NHPs are people.
Yeah, exactly.
Though I did have a mental image of their little projectors like stuffed in the overhead compartments. But no, more than likely they are hovering over 2 of the seats with the hologram of them sitting in the seats.
And they're just staring down at Vika, probably understanding all of it because they're in HPs.
yes, I went and sat in it. No, it didn't eat me. It's still repairing. I'm gonna have to fly it, which means I'm gonna have to get in it.
It flies now?
You know what I mean, pilot it. I don't know if it flies. The screen didn't come up. Worry about it when we get back. It'll be a surprise, like your new mech.
Yeah, I get the feeling mine is going to be an issue.
Did you
Oh, well.
war crimes the mech?
And literally because the player himself has that power, he just...
It's 9 o'clock, time to go to sleep.
and he's just out. He just shuts off.
Like Toy Story when a doll just goes.
4 of us have seen him do this.
Yes.
Yes, it's amazing in ability. A lot of us wish we had it.
Just turns off like a light.
He just closes his eyes and he's asleep right then and there, just sleep.
It does sound nice.
Uriah passes out. Ty adjusts herself, goes back to sleep.
Just leaning against each other. Vika snaps a picture.
So the next morning, shortly before you land,
Mm-hmm.
you're actually woken up by smokes.
Smoke
You
on
know.
the plane or smoke the pilot?
Smokes the person.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
call
It's
sign
also
smokes.
a thing. Okay.
Call sign
Mhm.
smokes.
Mm-mm.
Oathman.
No.
Just said smoke. Woken up by smoke, and it's like, wait,
Okay.
fire?
Oathman. We'll go with his first name, Oathman.
Yeah, Oathman
Mhm.
Mensa.
Yeah. And it's like he's walking back from the bathroom or something. There's a stewardess right behind him. I wasn't smoking, sir. The facility was full of smoke. Look, somebody must have been smoking in there before me.
It's hot boxing. Let the man cook.
Oh, give me a second. Hang on. Had to shoot up with the anti-cancer drugs.
Sir, I can see the cigars in your pocket. Circumstantial evidence doesn't mean I was using.
Not even joking. Just because Ty is small enough, she just curled up in a ball, and her head is on someone's arm.
Honestly, probably Uriah's, because if Vika had her way, they'd be basically just sleeping on each other.
Keep each other warm. You're tiny. Just huddle
Just
together.
a puppy pile of
Yeah.
of
Tossed a
puppy
blanket over them.
And that's going in the memory.
Mm-mm.
But you land, you disembark. You weren't the only people on this flight. So.
Hmm.
Ready as a Kodak camera for some reason.
But you unload or disembark. And this was a direct flight to Kaliakra.
Mm-hmm.
There's a vehicle, a couple of vehicles, a couple of van equivalents, sitting there waiting to take you to the hotel. As you get there to check in, you're divided. You're kind of divided into groups.
Mhm.
One of the hospitality workers takes the mad men one way, or the mad dogs one way.
Godspeed.
Mhm.
We need to hit up. Charlie Wayne's like yelling back at y'all. We need to meet up. Let's see. It's early morning when y'all get there. So he's like, we need to meet up for a late brunch and then hit the beaches.
I'm sure we'll be able to find you.
It'll be impossible not to.
Well, he is the tallest person in this room other than Vika.
And has red hair.
No one will be able to find Ty.
Mm-mm.
We're going to tie a helium balloon to Ty.
Starts floating.
And
And another one that approaches you. Oh, please, this way. And you're taken to a suite.
Sweet.
So each of you have your own room, but there's a big common area.
Get out the air mattress, the cots.
Mm-mm.
It's Dragon Con all over again.
Mhm.
You each have your own bed. The NHPs don't. But other than that,
They have their own charging station. She did bring that.
Very bougie charging stations.
but when you get there, Vika, you realize you have a message. It must have come in at some point when you were asleep.
Oh, joy.
I
What's the
hope,
preview say?
Hi, sorry I missed you.
I was about to say it says "Feed me Seymour," but that's
And then there's a second message that says, never mind, fed myself. No.
I'm sure we'll meet up again soon.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready when you get back. Well, the full message was, hey, sorry I missed you. Can't, looking forward to meeting you, looking forward to working with you. My name's Aset. I'm here to help you with the, with the new mech.
I look forward to working with you too. I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss when I get back.
Cool. Oh, you want to ask me anything, while you're gone? I've never been to a beach, but, be sure to take pictures.
I'll take plenty.
cool.
You get, like, smiles
Extreme.
and thumbs up emojis.
Extreme concern. Cool. Not shown that message to anybody. And closes the tab.
And then it pings again. Oh, how was your flight?
She'll go on answering the messages as serendipitously as she can as everyone's doing everything.
It's like a clingy best friend or something. It's like, yes.
My only instructions in creating her personality was to make sure she didn't hate Vika too much. Not a problem.
I couldn't handle anything. I don't want any conflict.
I have enough of that.
You from somewhere in
All
the
I've had
room,
is struggles. I
you
just want some snuggles.
You just hear Ty yell, "Vika, come look at this view!"
You.
She's messaging.
I'm so glad that.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you at all when you did that.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
none of us heard
What
you.
was it you said, Car?
Oh, none of us heard you. I basically yell from another room that say, "Vika, come look at this view."
She will wander over there and take a picture of it as well as she's wandering.
Do you
It's
send the
pretty
picture to
wa-
anybody?
At the end of the evening, she will send all of the pictures to Mysterious Asset.
She's not mysterious.
Yes.
She's an open book. Ask her anything.
Maybe later she will. Right now, she's getting over the weirdness and trying not to figure out if she needs to go to see the psychiatrist on vacation.
Everybody give me a roll to see if you notice anything. Not Vika.
Okay. Just because this is fun, your eye rolls a 10.
Specifically, not Vika.
Okay. So I just get a, so I just
You
have
just
a
get-
13.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I rolled a 1,
I have
so
an
that's
8.
fine. I've got if this is spot, I rolled a 1, so that puts it at
20.
1, 2, 3, no, 4, 5, 6 right now.
If this was investigate, it would actually be a success.
I think
Just-
Cortev gets a headache.
Some
And
of you
then-
notice that Vika seems to be getting a lot of messages. You know, that she sends quick little responses to.
Cortev gets a headache, and Uriah
Yeah.
spots Vika.
It's only odd because I don't think Vika is the type to be, you know, a heavy texter most of the time.
Son of a bitch.
Vika, do I want to know?
Oh, here. And just passes over. Since full transparencies. And it has all the chat log.
And most of it's just little inane things like the how was your flight, this, that, and you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like someone get to know someone for the first time.
Yeah, and being really excited about it. There's lots of emojis sprinkled in there.
There's the text name has for some reason an uwu in it.
Don't put those ideas in Jason's head.
Or do.
I mean, it's pretty much a thing at this point.
Kai suddenly loses another arm.
I'm going to the room now.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all are in the suite at this point, you know, unpacking your stuff.
Speaking of king, you see, Pretty pulls out it's more or less his printer / toolbox, and another suitcase that he puts down, twists the handle, and more like a 4.5 foot tall little robot appears and whips rather noticeable chirping has it. Yeah, I wasn't going to leave you behind, trust me.
Why am I picturing him like a little, almost like a battle droid? As far as just kind of being spindly and folded up into a suitcase.
I could make you one of these if you wanted to, Freddy. Pointing to Koke and Rabbit.
Well,
And they're both staring at Whip like, Koke's like, you packed him in the luggage?
What a freak.
We didn't even, it's not like we were paying for the seats. Union was handling it.
I don't know, that was his idea.
Maybe he feels comfortable in enclosed spaces, like really enclosed. Don't
And
kink
also-
shame the Lance.
I had to help him the rope because, well, he's unlike you two, he's not used to being outside of himself.
Koke still seems offended. Rabbit's like just questioning Whip. Is that accurate? You're right. Okay. I think he's nervous around people outside of himself.
He likes his home and he doesn't like to leave it.
So then y'all all get a message. Charlie Wayne lets you know he's down in the lobby. He's ready to eat.
All right.
I have a feeling if we don't go down there, he will come up here and find us.
You will.
Yup.
Yep.
All right, so y'all meet with the Mad Dogs for brunch.
Everyone in their party best.
Mhm.
Charlie Wayne is in shorts. Not
Because of
not
course
shorts
he
down
is.
to his knees. I think
He in baby boots.
just shy of 70s basketball shorts.
I was gonna say I have an image of like Wilt Chamberlain or something.
Just about. And a very bright Hawaiian style shirt.
It could have
Only
been
buttoned
Baby
about halfway
Boobs.
up.
Be thankful.
Leaving nothing to the imagination, I see.
Oh, you gotta advertise, you know. Have you been
More
paying attention?
caution.
A lot of ladies wandering around. Need to advertise.
Fair enough. I wish you the best of luck on your endeavors.
Everybody else is dressed casual, but not quite as casual as Charlie Wayne.
Cortez is still kind of like holding his head just a little bit, but he's shaking it off at this point.
And the hotel's on the beach.
Mm.
I mean, the view y'all were looking at would have been, the beach view.
The beach view.
The beach.
So they're all talking about what they're planning to do for the day. What would your characters want to do on vacation?
Ty is not spending money.
Ty is renting a metal
Uriah?
detector and going hunting for coins.
Uriah is going to go gambling.
He would be a card counter.
The
Yep. He's got that.
The moment Uriah says that, Smokes gets up and moves to the chair next to him. There's a
You
poker
are now
tournament.
my best.
There's a poker tournament. I didn't know they even had poker here.
Space poker.
And he pulls up one of the local casinos. Yeah, I mean, there's some local variants in the rules or whatnot. But
Uriah now has a best friend.
apparently, Smokes is a card player.
Right? He
He's
just
playing Sabak.
grin. He just smiles slightly and good to know.
It's like he's union. He doesn't really need the money he wins, particularly. It's the thrill of winning.
Because, like, kick their ass.
Doc's like, I'll probably play, I might go with y'all, play some slots. Smokes just looks at him in disgust. Got a better chance of getting struck by lightning. Poker is skill. Mostly.
Make the best of your hand. I think
Best
Kretev
year.
is going to
I
kinda
think
just-
about it. Sorry.
I think Krutev's just gonna like mill about. Kind of just take in the sights.
Just wander around town.
Every now and again stopping around him. Like not even like the big like not the big like tourist traps, but like the small like mom and pop little confectionaries or little shops that have little trinkets.
But like locally made trinkets, not just mass produced
Locally
stuff.
made, yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Comes back with a space baguette.
That's more or less what Charlie Wayne's planning to do. He doesn't specify the mom and pop stuff, but just sort of wander around town, see what's going on before he hits the beach in the afternoon.
If she hears they're wandering, if Uriah says he's going to go to the poker thing, she's like, I'm going to go hunt down books. Do you want me to keep an eyeball out for anything?
You know what I like.
Okay. She'll tag along with the milling about folks to try and
Okay.
find any local bookstores.
Esther's going. She kind of perks up a little bit when you mention books. She doesn't have an extensive collection, but she likes to keep an eye out.
We don't get
Have an
many up on
audio.
base.
Diva,
Have
on the other
audiobook
hand, is kind of
playing
like.
during the middle.
Go ahead, Car.
I was just saying, have an audiobook playing while you're fighting.
It's very soothing.
Depending on the book. Diva's like, well, if you want to read, you can just read on your, you can just bring up whole libraries. So convenient.
I mean, yeah, but there's something about a book.
What is it? The fact that it can be easily damaged by water, or the fact that it's flammable, or
The fact that I can bludgeon someone with them. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't.
you know,
do that. Damage the spine.
I use these same. She's like, I pick with Esther the same way. That is not a situation she brought up.
I mean, you get a heavy enough, like, if you get a good leather-bound volume where it's nice and sturdy, where the bookmaker knew what they were doing, you could probably, damage somebody with it, but it would damage the book, and it's just not worth the trade-off.
So fine, I was just teasing. And she doesn't say what she's going to do, but she wanders off on her own.
Karaoke.
Alright, so who else do we... What is Uriah doing? Oh, Uriah was interested in the gambling.
Yep.
Now, the poker tournament doesn't start this early in the morning or anything.
Mm.
But you can go get the feel at the casinos.
Which he is going to go do.
Alright, so Smokes will be heading off with you. Oh, Freddie... Well, what was it Freddie was going to do?
I had not mentioned that yet. Hadn't called on me yet. So,
Okay, so Freddie, what are you doing?
I'm probably. Where is the more touristy stuff? I'm actually going to take Whip to go see that because that was something he wanted to see.
So you're taking Whip and you're doing the bog standard tourist experience of this place for the first day.
Yes.
Just to get him used to interacting with people like a people.
Yeah.
Now the body you made for him, like I said, I was picturing a battle droid, but is it very obviously robotic, or is it?
Yes,
it
is very robotic.
Which for NHPs is just a style choice, whether you go hologram or have a body that you puppet. All right, he's probably fairly excited about that. Can he speak in this body, or is it still just the whistles and stuff?
Just the whistles. I tend to act as his translator. Think of him. I was thinking more like chirps and beeps. Think more like R2 talking.
Okay.
So.
What was that car you wrote it at us?
Oh, I said Wally is what I thought of too.
Yeah.
Very similar idea.
Ollie.
Audrey, what are you doing on your first day of vacation?
Probably going to join the people that want to mill about. He ain't got he has no real big plans. He just wants to just kind of scout the area, get a feel for it, and just kind of relax. But hanging out with the group is probably all he'd really do.
Okay. And Melody? What would she do in a resort town?
Just soak in the sun for a while.
So she's
More
hitting
than
the beach
likely.
right away.
Yeah.
Actually playing in the water, or just stretched out somewhere sunbathing?
Stretched out somewhere sunbathing.
There's plenty of other people out there doing the same thing. There's a lot of people around, but the beaches aren't exactly crowded. Not unpleasantly crowded anyway. It's like the place. The place is it's a well designed resort. You know, the hotels are spread out far enough. There's enough kind of beach. Who have I not asked? What's Tiana doing?
She's going with Vika. She's just gonna wander with the group.
Okay.
She is getting, like, if they stop somewhere for snacks, she is just getting a snack pushed at her. Maybe it'll make you taller.
Her whole goal is not to spend any money at all.
So anytime y'all see an interesting sign or a little statue or something like that, Charlie Wayne wants his picture taken next to it.
I'll do every time.
Yeah, just to amuse the mysterious. I said she's gonna join in the taking of pictures.
Just a big idiot next to you.
And you periodically get messages from the open book set throughout the day. Sometimes asking you, what you doing,
How do you like your coffee?
or commenting on the
thinking
fact
about?
that the mechanics seem to be really nervous around me.
Don't mind them.
I mean, the mech's fully repaired. I don't know what they're. I tried to talk to one, and that he kind of squeaked and ran off.
Yeah. You're really tall, so.
Yeah. Are tall women intimidating?
Depends on who you ask.
Maybe to some people. At least in my experience, that's what they notice first. So they'll grow on you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, look at this cow.
Space cow.
Space turtle.
Turtle cow.
Space turtle cow.
There you go.
So are you sending her the pictures as you take them, or saving them up?
She'll send some throughout the day, and then at the end of the day, like, we'll just send like a deluge. Be like, I'm at.
Here's a Google Drive link.
Yeah, pretty much. Be like, look, I have to actually sleep, unfortunately. So here are these to look at while I'm sleeping.
So she does quiz you on, like, who's the bald guy? He's almost as tall as you.
That is, and she'll like give everyone's call signs and names. That's their mech is probably across the hangar.
Oh yeah. I've got their files here. Okay. Not like the secret stuff, just the very baseline, union stuff.
Stuff that you could
it's a
easily
stalker.
Man, just think how big your kids would be if y'all got married.
Oh god.
I'm not going to think of that at all. Why did I get the yandere on HP?
So y'all wander around town, and where Charlie Wayne isn't particularly interested in the bookshops, you and Esther, drag the group into those without too much trouble.
Probably have other knickknacks too. Don't worry.
He winds up buying a porcelain turtle cow because he knocked it off the shelf.
No.
He's pretty sure he can glue it back together.
I'm sure
Bull in a
someone.
china shop.
He's not sure.
Someone has.
He's not sure why it was
printer that
hollow
can
and had a
put
slit on the top, though.
It's just to put coins in.
They use coins around here?
It might be a callback to earlier time. Have they been using coins around here?
Yes, the one of the local currencies does. It's not something that gets used a whole lot in the touristy areas because most of them are from somewhere else. But they do use a little bit of physical currency. Freddie Whip is also wanting pictures taken.
Sure.
He's a little nervous with all the people.
Well,
And of
it's
course-
just sort of.
I was going to say, of course, some of them don't know what to make of him when he doesn't actually speak. But nobody's rude because, you take care of the tourists.
Yeah. I just sort of sit down and say, now, no, this isn't a big new experience for you. But this is actually going to be really helpful for you. Because you kind of. Well, it's still your same. Remember, you're still weird.
It's almost like you're teaching an introvert how to step out of his
How to be
shell
an
just a little
extrovert.
bit. Maybe not. Maybe an introvert isn't even a strong enough word. It's almost like you're dealing with somebody that stayed locked up in their house for a few years. But like he really wants to go out and do stuff. But then, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of wide open space.
That was. I can't remember even where I saw this, but it was just a great joke of someone going, what an. It's the. What a claustrophobic agoraphobic is doing right now. And it's just, you just hear scream, a door open, a scream, a door open.
Nice. All right. Meanwhile, our gamblers,
Mm-hmm.
which is you, Smokes, and Doc,
Yeah.
wander into one of the local casinos. Specifically the one that's is going to have the card tournament the next day.
Yeah.
Doc is just like, hey man, grab me when y'all are going out. He goes and sits down at the slot machine, which is a spot that uses coins.
Mm-hmm.
Though really it's more like chips that you get just from the place. But
Yeah.
and he's just sitting down doing that. He's chit-chatting with the other folks around him.
Yeah, Uriah's gonna kind of get a lay of the land. Is there anywhere where that's doing this place's version of blackjack?
Yeah. I would imagine most of the modern day games have something vaguely similar.
Some analog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna play some blackjack.
Because the folks that colonized this place were sent out before the collapse. Because it was generation ship or cryo kind of stuff to get here, so long period of time. So yeah, you can find something very similar to 21 or blackjack.
Yeah. He's gonna play some blackjack.
Someone plops down next to him. Give me a roll. See how well you do.
Okay. Just straight D20.
Yeah, unless you got any skills or anything that you think would go into it.
Narrative.
What he had is grit.
He'd have his grit. I'm trying to think if you could finagle any. I don't remember which tags are or anything. So
I mean, read a
Anything
situation if you had it
special.
might work.
yeah, there's a few that, and I'll be a little loose with this because this is not something that they were probably thinking of when they.
So, question.
Mhm.
Could I, after, observing a few games, before I sit down at the table, like to see how this card dealer plays,
Mhm, mhm.
could I utilize create by saying I'm counting the cards and how he shuffles them? Because it says invent new devices, tools, or approaches to problems.
Yeah, that would work. And create is definitely one that's it's intellect. Using your intellect.
Okay. 12.
All right. So about how long do you plan on playing?
He's trying to keep his mind off things, so until he gets hungry.
All right, so you're basically playing until lunch, and maybe you move around tables a little bit or whatever. But
Yeah.
Oh, the week's up? Okay.
But you got a 12. Oathman got a 13.
Hmm.
So you don't make you win some, you lose some. You make a profit for the day, but you're not making like scads of money.
Yeah.
But you definitely get a hang of the game. Oathman seems to have a good instinct for the game. You don't think he's counting the cards or anything. And he is like smoking nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking some, not excessively though.
Yeah.
So when y'all do get ready to leave, well, you two are the only one that have made any money. Doc has made no money at his slots.
Yeah.
But seems pretty content with it.
Did he break even? Is that what happened?
No, he probably lost some, but not. I'm just picturing some of my buddies that used to go and play like nickel slots.
No.
It's like you can lose all day and not really have lost a whole lot. It's like he was just there for the chillaxing.
Yeah. They eventually go find some food and then, using twin senses, go figure out where Vika is.
I'd figured they'd just everyone meet up for food.
Yeah. There's got to be a free buffet somewhere here.
The casino would have one. Well, if you were staying at the casino. But you're not actually staying at the casino.
Hotel just has a really good breakfast.
Yeah, that's what he'll do.
Okay, so once y'all leave the casino, you go to meet back up with Vika. How many books is Vika going to buy? If she finds neat stuff.
Probably at least 3 or 4.
Okay.
I would
As long as
say
they're not too crazy pricey.
I would say at some point mid gambling, Uriah would send her a message. Go, something on their megafauna, please.
She would try to find something on megafauna.
And we were joking about it earlier, like last month earlier. But is she also gonna find a little plushie?
Yeah, do they sell like little knickknacks of the different megafaunas and stuff, or like animal figurines? Like how a zoo would have like, we've got a panda, so we've got a panda stuffed animal.
Yeah, you can find some of that kind of stuff.
Somehow she's got like a turtle cow under one arm.
You and Esther, at her suggestion, you have a system where you're checking the high shelves while she's checking the low shelves.
It works. It works well.
High's checking the low shelves.
Mm-hmm.
If she sees Ty look at one book interested for more than like a couple seconds, that gets added to the pile.
Oh God.
What kind of book would Ty be interested in?
Good question.
Romance novels.
Yeah.
Not going to lie, probably that and or medical books.
No,
Grey's
it's a
Anatomy.
medical romance.
There you
It's
go.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yep.
Oh God. And then there's this one book of how to be a better assassin that she's just like, what the hell? And she puts it down.
No, it's an enemies to lover, or like a thing with like one's an assassin that gets hurt, and then the medical doctor.
Oh, then it becomes Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Got it.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
It's Mr. and Dr. Smith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
That is added to the
Professional titles and
pile
all that.
for Tiana.
Ty's just like, what?
I get to read it after you get done.
Oh, okay, fine.
We'll have book club.
She's like looking at Rabbit, who's making a note of how much is being spent to pay back Vika for.
If she sees that, she's like, if I could take that pencil out of your hand.
Without breaking your hand.
Rabbit just scoots away.
Charlie Wayne is sitting there holding stuff. He doesn't remember volunteering to hold stuff, but
Now,
somehow.
when you say, never mind.
He's been voluntold to hold this.
Well, it's like he just kind of gets handed stuff. And once Esther starts doing that, everybody else starts doing that.
No, Vika's just like, I got big arms. I got enough for at least 20 books. I got 20 book arms.
Just imagine how good the drink's gonna be when you put all this stuff down.
It's arm day. Just work with it.
Fine.
You can wander off and go pursue the beaches.
Now, Melody, remind me again where you were.
Beach.
That's right. It was Audrey that was wandering around doing something. Were you not? What was it?
No, I'm wandering around with the group.
Okay.
Also getting handed books.
Then yes, you and Charlie Wayne are getting loaded down with stuff. Books, knickknacks.
Yeah. To the astonishment, you would just see him like already have like somehow have the bag situated to where they're like mini satchels. It's like he's just not even phased by this. Like, yep, typical outing.
Just immediately comes up with the most efficient way to do this. Anytime somebody goes, would you like a bag for that? You just look over whoever is actually buying the thing going, yes, they want a bag for that.
It's like they don't get a choice.
Somehow strapped to a bandolier. A bagdolier.
You say that, but that would probably be true. Just eventually fix it to where it's just a bagdolier he's just holding.
Carabiner hook construction.
I will say after like Vika like puts the third or fourth book from Ty's hand onto the pile, she just stops picking up books.
No, she'll only put like one or two. She's not getting a whole library. She like at max, she probably has like 3-4 books.
Yeah.
She travels light, so.
Yeah. They're not all for her, so.
So if y'all are leaving, now Freddie, you and Whip, were y'all going y'all separate way, or were y'all traveling with these folks?
We're actually going on our separate way.
Okay.
So
so y'all are walking along. When all of a sudden, Whip just goes down. Thump. And he looks over, and there's been it was like a wire laying on the ground that somebody had suddenly pulled up. On either side of the street, you hear giggling and a bunch of kids get up and run off down alleyways.
Time to beat some asses.
And you don't get that they were necessarily aiming for Whip specifically, because the two of you are walking. He just happened to be a half a step ahead of you. And you notice like somebody else on the other side of the street, or other side of little
And
walkway
these are
had stopped right before it, or right as it went up, like they had noticed it.
at first. I'll pick up. You all right, Whip? And just
He whistles at you. There's, he doesn't have nerves in his knees. He's fine. Though he's checking for scuff marks because his body's brand new. I'm gonna get scuffed on the first day.
I'll make sure to buff it out. And these are like little kids pulling a prank.
Like 11, and the oldest one is probably 11 or so. And you've got other people on the walkway, like, oh, you've got to watch for some of the street urchins. It's almost like little gangs, but they're just prank pullers and shoplifters sometimes.
These are more less like Victorian era little kid gangs and more like the Little Rascals kind of thing.
Kind of. They definitely don't look like they're any poorer or worse off than anybody else. Just poorly supervised.
And actually, any particular reason you like doing that to random people?
You just hear more laughter as they run down the side alleys. Yeah, the passerby that was on you was like, who helped you, probably stopped and helped you get whip up. It's like, hey, yeah, they do that all the time. I mean, not necessarily the wire thing. That's whatever, but they're a nuisance, but they're such a minor nuisance that the local officers haven't done much about it. I mean, if they see it happen, they try to grab one of the kids, but they just scatter. So
They're kids.
yeah, basically, even if you catch one, it's usually you just call their parents and send them home. They do seem to target the tourists more than anybody else, but it's pretty easy to pick you guys out most of the time.
Sorry, a IRL spider is in my kitchen right now, so.
It's his kitchen.
now. Yeah, the kitchen now belongs to the spider.
You
You're gonna have to burn
cowards
the
about
house down.
You cowards about spiders.
Bring out the flamethrower.
Yep, the house goes with it.
See, I don't even squish spiders in my house, unless
I
they're
have
on
an agreement with
Big
them.
spider?
Yeah, that's me. I have a truce. If they get on me or on my bed, they're dead. Otherwise, they can eat other bugs. I don't care.
Yeah, they eat all the other bugs. I don't care.
I mean, I don't deal with the spiders. Duba does, or our cats do.
Yeah, but cats are invasive species, so they're just gonna do that.
You chill in your corner, and we're okay.
And you come out of that corner, the bell's rung.
Jason, it is 9.
Round
past
one.
9:30.
Yep. Oh man, I really was going to have the urchins do something to the other group, but I guess that'll have to wait till next week.
They pants Charlie Wayne.
Break out the sensor bar.
Sorry, I've got that mental image. I did not need that mental image. Thankfully, it's that mental image with the sensor bar. The sensor bar is just swinging. Anyway.
Oh.
No, it's just his whole lower half is just a blur. Legs and all.
That's not even better. That's worse.
All right. So anyway,
Yep.
so it gets near lunchtime, so y'all all kind of start moseying back to meet up, and we will pick up next time with y'all meeting up at lunch. I blanked. I thought, seemed like there was something else. Oh well, it'll wait till next week, I guess. I hope y'all enjoyed
Think
it.
of it in 10 minutes.
Today's been a little laid back, except maybe for Vika. With her new bestest friend ever.
She'll survive, allegedly.
You know, as you're approaching.
Well, because
go ahead. Go ahead.
she'll survive because the best friend will give her no choice.
We
Of course you're
can't
gonna
die.
survive.
We'd be alone.
I'll just clone you. It'll be fine.
That's how it works for NHPs.
You need that DNA? No? Okay.
I mean, that's how it works for people in this setting. It just they come out a little funky.
She's SSC. She's kind of almost used to it.
Yeah.
Like, no, that tracks. I feel like this tracks.
I've been cloned many a times, and I'm perfectly normal.
The additional toes and fingers are a feature.
Not a bug.
I don't have a flower for an ear. It's fine.
So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it. It was a little
Yep.
laid back today.
Yep.
Hope anybody that comes by and watches later had fun. I hope y'all come back and watch us again next week. Again, I was your storyteller for the evening, Jason. And with me today has been Carr as Tiana. Eric as Uriah. Rappy as Melody. Jeremy as Cortev. Duba as Audrey. Patrick as Freddy. And Sarah as Vika. And we will see y'all next time.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.